let's just go over the story about how Steam's been running along.
Okay, let's start. Let's quickly backtrack from the beginning of all this fiasco. It actually started during Steam Fest 4. So Steam Fest is like this yearly convention for all those who are creating content and posting on Steam. It's a global thing. And last year that they had it in November last year, we had Steam Fest in Bangkok. All right. So when I went over there, I mean, it was like normal, meet everyone. Then suddenly I met the business development manager for Tron, who was at Steam Fest. Right. So of course, while people are talking everything about Steam, we had the new managing director from Steam, which was there. Elizabeth Powell, she was there. The whole team was there. Everything looks nice. Then I started, chatting with the guy from Tron. I said, so what is Tron doing here? So why are you here in the first place? Then he was saying that, oh no, we're just here to check it out, just to see the community. Let's talk about it. So of course, suspicions grew from there, right? And true enough, a few months later, towards March, there was this big announcement, especially by Justin Sun, saying, something great is going to happen. And but internally, we all knew that we already knew or had a hunch that it was going to be a procurement of Steemit Inc., right? Because Steem blockchain, regardless, at that time is still a community base, and Steemit Inc. was just the founder. So it's And when that happened, okay, so the community then says, okay, even though a lot of us didn't like the idea of Tron being the new owners of Steemit Inc., and we all knew that Steemit Inc. had the biggest stake in the Steem blockchain, and being a DPoS blockchain, we knew that there may be challenges, especially Justin has been known for voting up his own witnesses and do changes as and when he likes it, because it has been done on the Tron blockchain many times. Okay, so but the thing is, on Tron itself, on TRX, when the super representative were just taken off and the chain was upgraded and it came back on, it was very quiet. Nobody said anything, or it wasn't loud enough. All right. But at first when Justin took over Steemit Inc. and started saying that, I want to help the community and all of that, so we all tried to tolerate and we tried to collaborate with the guys from Tron. Right. We even had community briefs and all that, but everything started feeling very weird and awkward because whatever that came out from Justin Sun's mouth, the next day something else will come out on his Twitter. So like, for example, the week itself that he took over Steemit Inc., he announced that Steem is on Poloniex. We are planning to integrate the TRX blockchain with the Steem and do some integration, but we all knew that it couldn't be done. I mean, it doesn't make sense. And then he was saying that, we're going to give TRX airdrops for anyone who gets on Steem and all that. So, but everything became very suspicious from there. And what happened was that after trying to talk to Justin and trying to get them to understand that Steem is not Steemit Inc. Steem is actually a community of content creators. So some of the currently top 20 at that time, top 20 witnesses decided to do a block on the largest stake there was, which was the stake that belonged to Steemit Inc. Okay, block in terms of the Steemit Inc. was not able to power down, means that they couldn't cash out. Steemit Inc. wasn't able to vote on witnesses. that was a soft fork. The soft fork, which is able to then literally, it could be removed or could be changed at any time. Didn't require a hard fork. Okay. Then because of that, of course, Justin Sun retaliated by calling up all the exchanges. Huobi was involved, Binance was involved, all right, and because they had huge stake, huge amount of Steem as well, all right.
Yeah, from
and
everyone who would put it in there, from trading and
yeah, exactly,
other kind of stuff,
exactly. Yeah, so they powered up, okay, and they started voting their own sock puppet witnesses, all right, to the point that they were able to reverse the soft fork, okay, and literally they held the entire consensus. So that became a big thing. That just blew up Steem blockchain on the media in a scale that never seen before, right?
So just so the consequence of something like that is essentially like there was almost it's almost the same as having a hostile takeover.
It is.
In the stock world. It's sort of like basically you have the majority of individual users who obviously may not own the majority of a stock, or in this case, the majority of Steem tokens, or may not be organized to a degree that they can consolidate power in a number of few large witnesses. Essentially, you have a couple of people who have, in the case of exchanges, access to a lot of tokens that by right aren't actually theirs.
Yeah.
However, they use the voting power of those tokens to actually make massive changes to, well, not massive, but significant changes to the way that the Steem blockchain was actually designed to be used, as the community had seen it being used in the past.
Yeah, exactly. So the biggest controversial here was that it's because the exchanges got involved, right? And I mean, of course, later you got CZ saying that, oh, we were told that the Steem blockchain was being hacked and monies was stolen. So without even knowing or understanding how the entire chain works, they stepped in and caused a huge disruption to the consensus of the chain. Okay, so if you look at it, the people actually to be blamed were the exchanges, right? Because without them, because one thing, the money was still safe. There was no hacks, but Justin kept on saying that it was malicious hackers. Right. So I mean, if I personally know these guys who are top 20 witnesses, and if you were to call them hackers, it's it's nothing close to that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and as part of the Steem community itself, we understand that the concerns were there. And something needed to be dealt with, because in the past this concern has always been raised to NetScott and Steemit Inc., saying that you guys hold the biggest biggest stake, and you can just vote on any witnesses. But since 2016 until this year, Steemit Inc. has never done anything like that. They never even casted a single vote on a post. Right, so the stake was just sitting down there. So whereas right now, if we were to take a look, Steemit Inc. is using their stakes for so many reasons, which it's I just it makes the entire Steem blockchain a very centralized entity at this point of time. So what happened was that after the exchanges stepped in, the whole fiasco of this hostile takeover. And then, of course, the witnesses and the entire community was unhappy as to how it was dealt with, right? So some of them got together and said, okay, let us fork Steem and let's just move out of Steem. It's fine. So when they forked Steem to Hive, okay, what they did was that during that fork, a list was generated. And that list contained people who supported Justin and the sock puppet witness. Okay, those people who supported those sock puppet witnesses, and also all of Steemit Inc.'s stake were on this list. And what happened is during the hard fork, during the airdrop of Hive, whoever that was on this list who had a stake of Steem, automatically all their stake will be zero rise and be transferred to an account which is the Hive DAO, right? So the Hive DAO is used so that if you have a project, you can apply for some of it. Yeah. Okay. So that's what happened. And because Hive was a new blockchain and a new token, it was considered an airdrop.
Right.
But on Justin's side, he thinks it differently. Justin thinks that he had the right for the Hive token, and because he didn't get his Hive token the way it was airdrop, he called everyone a thief, and that they stole his money. So he claimed that. And because of that, the most recent one, they did hard fork 23. Whoever the witnesses that was supporting the Hive fork, all their account was zeroized and transferred to this one account called Community 321.
Sorry, so that means that anyone who is this on the Steem blockchain or on the Hive blockchain?
On the Steem blockchain. So the most recent fork was hard fork 23 on the Steem blockchain.
Yeah.
Literally, that blockchain, that fork itself, that hard fork itself, or that upgrade itself, was meant to zeroize all those who supported the Hive fork.
Yep.
So a list of about, I think, 49 accounts or 50 over accounts was generated, and whoever that was in that list, their wallets was nulled to zero, and whatever amount that they had was transferred to an account called Community 321. Right? So a total of about 25 million Steem was automatically transferred to one account.
How much is that worth now in US dollars?
About 5 million, above 5 million US.
So they just literally emptied out $5 million worth of people's money. Because the people, these witnesses that you're talking about, they wouldn't be exchanges or whatever. These would have been people who have either bought those Steem tokens or earned them by putting in content.
Exactly.
There would have been only those two cases. So literally, I mean, that is more thievery than the other thing. So than starting a new chain and so you can't be involved. So that's insane.
It is. So what happened instead? So everybody expected that it was going to, that hard fork 23 was going to happen. We all knew when it was going to happen, and literally at 2 p.m. UTC on a few days ago, the hard fork happened, and all the accounts were zeroized. All the Steem was then sent to one account called Community 321, and what was totally unexpected was that suddenly this account sent the entire 25 million Steem to Bittrex. All right. And then everybody was like, when it's like WTF moment. It's like, what just happened, right? What exactly just happened? Because we knew that in the hard fork, in the source code itself, it was going to this account, but suddenly this account sent it to Bittrex. Now, if you remember, the hostile takeover was a collaboration between Huobi and Binance, and of course Poloniex, right? The only exchange that didn't get involved was Bittrex.
Yeah,
Bittrex had nothing to do with it. So it was sent to Bittrex, but of course Bittrex, you couldn't deposit anything because the deposit was under maintenance. I mean the whole coin was under maintenance, right? So it's sitting down there in Bittrex account right now, and like 2 minutes later, a message came out from Community 321 that was sent to Justin Sun. Steem account, saying that in Korean, written in Korean, it says stealing is bad.
Oh, so someone actually had hacked the 321 account.
Yes.
Right.
So yeah. So then after that, I took a look at the Steem Block Explorer to see what's been happening to this account. So apparently, like exactly 10 minutes before the hard fork was scheduled, because on Steem, hard forks are scheduled by time and date and not by block number, right? So 10 minutes before that, the account community 321 password was changed.
Right. So how would, who would, at the end of the day, would that be just, okay, so obviously we know that with blockchains and things, it's difficult to hack, and, finding private keys and whatever is virtually impossible to just, brute force. So, at a speculation level, how did this maybe Korean, maybe not Korean speaking individual.
Exactly.
How did he or she or it, we've got to be sensitive. How did this individual, how did they manage to, at a speculation level, how did they manage to get access to that account and take it over?
Well, it's quite obvious that they would have the owner key.
Oh, so it would have been someone who was involved.
Could be.
Could be. We
don't
know.
We don't know.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So of course, this guy, this account, Community 321, is now the Robin Hood of Steem.
Yeah.
It just blew up. There's even a Twitter. There was everybody just burst into laughter, and because it was a failed coup by Stupid Inc. To Zero-Rise and that. So the message, the memo that was sent from Community 321 to Bittrex was this Steem was illegally taken from community members. Please return them to the rightful owner. All right, together with the 25 million Steem that was sent to Bittrex. Then, of course, following that was that message to Justin Sun. Then everybody sent a memo message to Community 321. You can see in their wallet all the memos down there. I said, "You're my hero." They were all just laughing and making a mockery out of it. Yeah. So, but the thing here right now at this juncture, at this point right now, is that Bittrex had no idea that this was going to happen to them. Suddenly, they saw this 25 million Steem in their in their Steem account, and we knew that Community 321 has sent an encrypted memo to Bittrex, but we have no idea what it says. But Bittrex made an announcement saying that they have, even though they didn't like and they don't want to support this hard fork because they knew that it is ethically not right, right? However, they have to given that the consensus was given by the blockchain itself, so they have to follow the consensus. They are looking into following the consensus and returning back the Steem to the rightful owner. In this case, it would be back to Community 321 or back to Justin Sun. But again, that was what was being announced, all right? And however, the Steem is still in the Bittrex wallet. It hasn't been returned yet. Not that I know of. I didn't check today, but not that I know of. So all the community from Steem or Hive got excited. But then when they see the announcement from Bittrex, it's like, it's such a such a waste or such a thing which shouldn't be, because it was literally unethical.